Hello.
Okay, everybody, welcome to the conference. Okay, it's the conference with Le Cercle des Langues. I am asking everyone to please mute. I have muted on my side. So, how the conference is going to work is we are going to discuss a topic. I will present the topic, and at the end, I am going to give everybody 5 minutes. We will have a question and answer. So, I hope that's good for everyone. We also have the chat on the right hand side of the screen. So if you have any questions, please either reserve it for the end of the lesson or at the end of the conference, excuse me, or you are more than welcome to put it in the chat and we will look at it together. Okay? So today we are discussing what we call the American dream, understanding positivity in US culture. The topics we will be discussing today are the economic prosperity, the cultural influence, the work ethic and hospitality, and the educational system in the United States. So these are things that we will be discussing. Let's begin with an introduction. So I am going to start the slideshow. We need to discuss the perception of positivity in the USA culture and what it is influenced by. So, it could be influenced by certain factors, and those factors are number one, cultural optimism, the American dream, the can do attitude, and their strong work ethic, diversity and inclusivity, the fact that the USA was built upon immigration. We talk about the entrepreneurial spirit. This is seen with the tech giants and the cultural influences such as American media, including movies, television, and music, which often portrays themes of hope and optimism. We have key events that have contributed to positivity in the USA over the years. And these are in the year 1621, America experienced its first Thanksgiving. So pilgrims and Native Americans gathered to celebrate a successful harvest and give thanks, marking an early symbol of cooperation and gratitude in American history. In 1776, we had the Declaration of Independence. This is where the United States declared its independence from British rule, laying the foundation for a new nation. In 1865, we had the abolition of slavery. The 13th Amendment was ratified, officially ending slavery in the United States after the Civil War. And the last event that contributed to positivity, well, not the last, but one of the key events that contributed to positivity in the USA over the years was in 1920, which was the women's suffrage. The 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote, a significant step towards gender equality. After the 1950s to the 1960s, we see post-war economic boom, which was also called the golden age of capitalism. This is a period of robust economic growth and prosperity characterized by increased production, rising incomes, and the expansion of the middle class. We also then see in 1969 we have the moon landing. This was NASA's Apollo 11 mission, which successfully landed astronauts on the moon, demonstrating American technological achievement. We then see in 1969, 2008, we have the election of Barack Obama. Barack Obama became the first African American to be elected president of the United States. signifying an historic moment in American politics. We then have 2020, which was the development of COVID-19 vaccines. Scientists developed vaccines to combat the COVID-19 pandemic, offering hope for ending the global health crisis. So, after those key elements, we then see economic prosperity. And the indicator for economic prosperity, we are seen by the GDP, which stands for the gross domestic product. And the positive impact of that was steady economic growth for the country. The second thing we see with economic prosperity is that there was low unemployment, opportunities for job seekers internationally. So we saw the positive impact was the opportunities for job seekers internationally. The third part of the economic prosperity was entrepreneurship. So we saw a culture of innovation and startups. When we look at the GDP growth, so that is steady economic growth, we say that the GDP is a key economic indicator that measures the total value of all goods and services produced within a country's borders during a specific period. The United States has historically maintained a relatively steady GDP, and here are four of the key reasons why. Number one, they have what we call economic diversification. The US economy is highly diversified, encompassing a wide range of industries. We then look at number two, which is innovation and technology, a strong culture of innovation and technological advancement. Number three, entrepreneurship and business environment, which means a favorable business environment with a relatively low regulatory burden. And number four, that steady economic growth was also thanks to trade and global presence, a major player in international trade. So when we started with the steady economic growth, we look at number two, which was low employment. So low employment was due to the education and workforce. The US has a well-educated and skilled workforce, with many universities and institutions fostering talent. The labor market flexibility. The US labor market is relatively flexible, which means that employers can adapt to changing conditions more easily. We then have government policies. Various government policies, including monetary and fiscal measures, are designed to promote economic growth and employment. And the fourth was immigration. So the United States has a history of immigration, which has brought a diverse pool of talent and skills to the country. So we are remembering that we are talking about the idea of the positivity culture. And all of this has contributed to the positivity culture in the United States of America. We then talk about entrepreneurship. The entrepreneurship, we look at the support ecosystem for entrepreneurship. There is a vast network of organizations and resources to support entrepreneurs, such as small business development centers. Innovation and technology. We have the place known as Silicon Valley in California, is a world renowned as a hub for tech startups, but innovation centers can be found in other parts of the country as well, such as Boston, Seattle, and Austin. We also look at their education and research. The US universities and research institutions play a critical role in fostering entrepreneurship by providing education, research, and technology, and then their global impact. The US entrepreneurship has a global impact, and this can be seen by the countries that they have relationships with and how they do business with these countries. We then look at cultural influences. Cultural influences, including those from Hollywood and the world of sports, play a significant role in shaping perceptions of positivity in the USA. And everyone knows on the right hand side, we have Marilyn Monroe, a very well known actress, from the United States of America. So when we look at Hollywood and the entertainment industry, we look at things like escapism and inspiration. It produces a vast amount of films and television shows that provide a form of escapism. We also have role models and icons. It creates influential figures, actors, and celebrities who serve as role models. We have cultural impact. American pop culture and entertainment have a global presence, which can contribute to positive perceptions of American values. Other cultural influences can be seen in sports and athletic achievements. So, unity and national pride. The Olympics and the professional leagues like NFL and the NBA, these are the successes of American athletes in international competitions, which foster a sense of national pride. We also have stories of determination, which we find in sports. Sports are full of stories of athletes who have overcome challenges and adversity, which is a great opportunity to enforce positivity. We have community building, from local Little League baseball teams to college football games. We talk about work ethic and hospitality, something that fosters a positive culture, the culture of positivity in America. Americans are often recognized for their strong work ethic and sense of hospitality. Where does this strong work ethic come from? So let's talk a bit about that. Historically, the Protestant work ethic, which emerged from the religious beliefs of early European settlers, has played a significant role. This ethic emphasizes hard work, discipline, and success. We also talk about individualism. The American culture places a high value on individualism and personal responsibility. So, where does their hospitality come from? Cultural diversity. The diversity of American society has led to a culture of hospitality. We also have the service industry. The hospitality industry, which includes restaurants and hotels and tourism, play a significant role in the US economy. We then look at education, which is closely linked to positivity in the US due to its number one, economic opportunities, number two, social mobility, number three, community building, number four, innovation and creativity, number five, health and well being. So let's look at universities. The US is home to some of the world's top universities and institutions. It values education and it promotes research and learning. These universities are renowned for their strong academic programs, world class faculty, and significant contributions to research and innovation. Examples of these universities are Harvard University, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, better known as MIT, Stanford University, California Institute of Technology, Princeton University, the University of Chicago, Yale University, Columbia University, the University of Pennsylvania, and Johns Hopkins University. So, what do they search for when we look at these education outcomes? When we look for these education outcomes, we look at reduced crime rates. So, higher levels of education are correlated with lower crime rates. tolerance and inclusivity. Education promotes a better understanding of diverse perspectives, cultures, and beliefs. And then we talk about personal fulfillment. Many people find personal fulfillment and happiness in pursuing their educational goals. So now I would like us to have a look at some of the most popular US expressions. The first one we say is have a great day. En français, passez une bonne journée. You're amazing. T'es incroyable. Keep up the good work. Continuez à faire du bon travail. Smile and the world smiles with you. Souriez et le monde sourit avec vous. Don't worry, be happy. Ne vous inquiétez pas, soyez heureux. The sky's the limit. Le ciel est la limite. Dream big, rêvez grand. Everything happens for a reason. Tout arrive pour une raison. Life is a journey, enjoy the ride. La vie est un voyage, profitez-en. And stay positive and stay strong. Stay positive and stay strong. Restez positive et forte. We have look on the bright side. Voyez le bon côté des choses. Every cloud has a silver lining. Chaque nuage a une doublure en argent. It's a beautiful day. C'est une belle journée. You're doing fantastic. Tu t'es débrouillé très bien. Believe in yourself. Croyez en vous. Positivity is the key to success. La positivité est le clé du succès. Succès, make the most of every moment. Tirez le meilleur parti de chaque instant. Chase your dreams. Poursuis tes rêves. You're a star. Tu es une star. And shine on. Briller. We will talk about body language. As you know, body language is just as important as when we speak. So in a medical culture, as in many other cultures, various nonverbal cues can express positivity and openness, smiling, eye contact, handshakes, open posture, nodding, thumbs up, high fives, back patting, hugs, maintaining personal space, mirroring, or hand gestures. So this is something that is also quite important and is a big part of their culture. So when we look at the conclusion, I would like us to have a look at everything we discussed throughout the presentation. For example, positivity has been shown to be a fundamental aspect of American culture since the immigration mixed together diverse cultures in the beginning. And because that happened in the beginning, it is very much a part of their culture now. Many elements can be linked to their positive culture, such as their hardworking work ethic, their hospitality, their world-class universities, top research facilities, their steady economic growth, the Hollywood industry, and their keen interest in sports, to name a few. There are key points to show how positivity is strongly within the US culture. So the first one was the economic prosperity allows many job opportunities. So we saw the 4 key elements. And the second being cultural influences. The cultural influences portray positivity in movies and sports. Their service industry has led to a culture of hospitality. And 4, high-class education leads to economic growth and personal fulfillment. For positivity in US culture, we've got resources from Le Cercle des Langues. So we've got an e-learning module on multiculturalism. We've also got multicultural teams for B2 level and C1 level. You will also find articles from Le Cercle des Langues, the blog, Tu viens d'où? Thanksgiving, Tu viens d'où? La fête d'Halloween. Okay? So these are all the aspects that have contributed to what we call a positivity culture in America. So that is our presentation. And now we have some time for a question and answer. So let's have a look at it. I will unmute everybody. You are more than welcome to unmute on your side if you would like to discuss any of the subjects that we spoke about today. Does anyone have any questions or any comments?
I will put my camera.
Lovely.
No, just a comment actually. I just wanted to say that it's really how to say appreciable. Yeah, I really
Yes, you
appreciate
appreciate?
to see that how you are using the difference of culture
Yes, yes.
and to transform them, like, as a strength. So
Absolutely, because
it's
it is,
great.
it's thank you that yes, and because it's not only America, there are culture
Mm,
diversification all over the world, and it is so important. And when we talk about prosperity, we talk about the fact that we teach different cultures teach each other different
mm.
things. So that is a beautiful thing. Thank you so much for sharing. Is there anybody else who would like to ask a question, to make a comment?
And the prosperity, I would say, regarding you say that there are a lot of jobs opportunities,
Yes,
actually. Is
yes.
there any specific area which is more, how to
Oh, for
say,
the
do you
job.
have more? Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so when we talk about the prosperity, when I think the context of the presentation was talking about the job opportunities as to where it came from. So at that particular time, there were many job opportunities, but because also the USA is quite they are a large economy. So I could not particularly say in which sector, but because of the fact that they are a large economy, it leads to the fact that there could be different job opportunities available. One has to
Mm,
just do further research to see what your strengths are or the individual strengths are, and then see what is available to that person. Okay.
mm.
Is that something you would be interested in? Pursuing opportunities in the US?
Oh, I would love to. I would love to. Just for some personal reason, I would. For now, I'm staying in France, but actually, I'm really impressed by the mentality and the way of working as well, because I have some American colleagues. So
Yes. Okay, absolutely.
mm,
I think it's the idea of the American dream that still sits with us because when you think of America, the first thing someone will say, the connection is, oh, it's the American dream. So when we're speaking about, I'm going to go back to the presentation just for you. When we were talking about the idea of the economic prosperity, we are talking about where it came from. So over the time, you can think about where everything began. They had that steady economic growth, which was a big contributor to why they have such a stable or have many possibilities when it comes to job opportunities. Okay, so something to know about the presentation, that it will be sent to each and every one of you so that you can have a look at it, and if there is anything that you find useful, you are more than welcome to share your comments. You are more than welcome to express how the presentation made you feel, or whether you feel that it's true, whether America is the American dream, or do you believe something different? Does anyone have any other questions or comments?
Chanel, hello, it's Geraldine. Just I'm wondering if the indicator. Oh, sorry, I can. Okay, I'm just wondering if the indicator GDP growth Is
Yes.
it the same thing that PIB in France? Do you
Ah,
know?
en français. So when we talk about the GDP, I think en français. So when I look at it here, when we talk about the gross,
Je-
we talk about
Yeah.
le produit intérieur brut.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's the
So
same thing.
c'est exactement la même chose. It is the same
Thank
thing.
you.
No, my absolute pleasure. Do we have any other questions or comments?
Hello, everybody. Hello, Chanel. It's the first time I'm here. I don't have a question, but just a comment.
Yes, please share.
I have read a book about Tal Ben Shahar.
Mm-hmm.
He who is a professor in the University of Harvard and who is very famous because he teaches positivity and happiness.
Yes.
And yeah, now I have a question. What do you think about all these writers and all these not psychologists, yeah, and
Psychologists?
yeah,
Yes.
and that we have in America? For example, in France, we have also different writers that I know
Hmm.
who also have written about these themes, but we don't have how you say a course about happiness in French universities. So, for example,
Yes. Yes. It's very interesting because I think everybody writes or creates something from their own story.
mm,
So, for example, there are many writers who decide to share their story. And because you are dealing with two different cultures, I think the approach is different. So, the way they decide to express themselves is different. So, it's not wrong, it's just different. And
yes,
maybe um, maybe in France, they just the way certain people feel about expressing their views are different to the way they choose to do it in the United States. From where I come from, South Africa, they choose to express it in a different way. It just means that that way of expression is unique for every country. Is it something that you would like to see more of in France?
yeah. What do you mean about happiness?
Yes, is it something that because is it something would you like to see people doing more courses like that, focusing on happiness? Is it something that you would like to see more of?
Yeah, yeah. Why? Because it's my job is it's I'm a sophrologue,
Yes.
and so I help people and children and students to see how do you say in English, voir le verre à moitié plein plutôt que le verre à moitié vide.
Ah, to see the glass half full. I'm putting it in the chat for you. To see the glass half full.
To see the glass half full. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. The research of happiness is a constitutional right in the US. Thank you, Elise, for sharing. That is really well said. I think it is very important to know that um, when we say the research of happiness is a constitutional right, it's something that, if you look at all the proof, has been given as something that this is your right. And it is. And that is how the USA has decided to approach those kinds of topics. I think we are in an age where mental health, happiness, all of those things are becoming very important, and we are speaking more about them. So I think as the world, we are becoming more aware, sensibilisé. We are becoming more aware of the needs of individuals. That's happiness, mental health, well-being. So I think it's very important. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you so much,
No,
Chanel.
my absolute pleasure. So everyone, the slideshow, the presentation will be sent to each and every one of you. And what I enjoyed about this presentation is that it talks about the happiness and the rights and the diversity, which is so important for all of us. And if you have any questions, please feel free to email me, send me an email But we will have a new topic next week, Friday, at 6 p.m., where I will gladly present to you a new topic from the Cercle des Langues. So thank you so much, and I hope to see you next week.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
presentation.
you. Have a nice
No,
weekend.
Have a nice weekend, everyone.
You
Bye-bye.
as well.
Bye bye.
Bye.